Cooley, and welcome to the Stephen Cooley Real Estate Show. We've got beautiful homes on today's show. We've got all the homes available on our website at stephencooley.com. On today's show, we're going to give buyers tips on making a purchase. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. If you're in the housing market to make a purchase, get out your pen and paper because we've got some great information. We'll be right back.
This presentation of the Stephen Cooley Real Estate Show is sponsored by South Carolina Bank and Trust. We believe in South Carolina.
Hello, I'm Stephen Cooley, and welcome to the Stephen Cooley Real Estate Show. On today's show, I got Dale Loftus, one of the buyer's agents on the Stephen Cooley team.
Hey,
welcome
Steve.
back to the show, Dale. Dale's going to give us great insight on working with buyers and also how important it is for buyers to have great representation out there and some key points. So if you're a buyer right now or a future buyer, get out a pen and paper and take great notes because Dale's going to give you some wonderful tips on making offers on real estate. So take it, Dale, and give us some great information here.
All right. Well, when you're making an offer on real estate, the first thing that you have, there's a few things you have to have. The very first thing is you need to hire an excellent buyer representative. The reason for it is because a buyer's representative that is experienced and skilled will make it so much easier for you to get through the process and then be able to get you the very best terms, price, and conditions that meet your needs for buying that home. And those things those vary based on the buyer, based on the seller, based on the conditions that those particular parties are in, what might be the best avenue or the best way for us to make an offer.
And what buyers realize or need to realize is that the seller has already picked representation. The seller has an agent and an agency looking out for their interests. The seller is, of course, looking out for their interests.
Sure.
So the buyer needs somebody on their side, on their ball team, looking out for their interests, and that's where a buyer's agent comes in.
Exactly. And a experienced buyer's agent kind of acts as an advisory counsel, as a coach, to put it in sports terms. The decisions that are made in making an offer are always the buyer's, but if you've got somebody there that can really help you through the process and give you the right information that you need to make the best decisions for you and your family, then that's what we can provide. Now, to start with that, you hire your right buyer's representative, obviously, and then the next thing you're going to need is a pre-approval letter. Can't stress how important that is when you're going to make that offer, because in essence, a solid pre-approval letter from a reputable lender, in essence, makes you a cash buyer, and it will look very strong to the seller, okay? If you've got that piece of documentation there that says, hey, these people have been pre-approved for the loan, we've already checked everything out with them. When they make an offer, it's a serious offer and they're ready to go. Absolutely,
and so many bank rules and regulations have changed. If you think you can buy a house, then you think you can get a loan on a property, then it's very important to talk to a lender now, because if you got pre-qualified 6 months or a year ago, those rules and regulations have changed in the banking industry. And if you don't need a home loan to buy a house, then that's wonderful.
That's great.
But most of us do.
Absolutely.
And one thing I want to point out, Dale, is there's all kind of information on a home. There's information online about a property. There's tax information through the courthouse. There's information that the seller has put out there about their home. There's information that the listing agent has put in the multiple listing service for the realtor. None of that information is guaranteed.
Right.
All of it, some of it can be different about the same home. So again, a buyer's agent's going to take all that information and say, okay, this is the school district the home goes to. This is the zoning for the home. This is the type of loan that you can get on this type of property. This is the year the home was built, even though it varies in 3 different, sources that are coming in. So again, all that information can be out there about a property, but none of it is guaranteed.
Nope.
And it's up to the buyer and their agent to verify all that information. So again, we've just had some folks here recently that we've now been out to their home. We didn't represent them when they bought the home, that bought a home that they thought was bigger, square footage wise. They a home that was zoned incorrectly, and so these people really needed buyer representation. And it'd be great to be on today's show and tell folks how important that is.
Yeah. So many times, people have come to me with issues like that, and being as experienced as I am, I know how to verify all that information and get all of the information, and have surveys done and have the home professionally measured if necessary, whatever we've got to do to satisfy that the home that the buyer is about to purchase is exactly what they expect it to be. And then once we get settled on the home that we're going to purchase, there's so many different items to go through on the contract. And all of those items are negotiable. It's not just the purchase price. Everybody wants to say, well, I want to get it for the best price. Well, sure, everybody wants the best price, but closing date may be very important to you based on the school system you want to be in. Or maybe you don't have very much cash up front to pay your own closing costs. Maybe you'd like the seller to pay those closing costs and increase your monthly amount in order to do that. Those are all things that we can do based on your needs and based on who the seller is that we're making the offer to.
Absolutely. The real estate contracts are 5-6 pages long with some addendums 7 to 10 pages long, and so a buyer really needs to understand those, and all that information in there, even the pre-typed stuff, is negotiable.
Absolutely.
And so, what happens when the appraisal comes back low? What happens when the inspections come back and it needs a new roof from the hail damage? All those things we know how to handle. So great information there. Again, if you are a buyer out there considering making a purchase, definitely get a buyer's representation. I highly recommend the group that's with my firm, and that's the Stephen Cooley team. And Dale, tell folks how to reach you.
Certainly. You can reach me at dale@stephencooley.com is my email address. My office phone number is 985-1240. And also, take a look at our website, stephencooley.com, and look at the blog. I'm going to put a lot more information in there today about how to make an offer. You can get some more great information off of our website.
Thanks, Dale, for that wonderful expert information on how buyers buy homes. We've got beautiful homes for sale on today's show. We've got all the homes available on our website at stephencooley.com. We'll be right back.